Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker MSQ series. And we're back because we need to fucking get on the move. We can't just stand around and talk because we need to go and run down and chase this person and try and find the farm member who we can investigate or at least eavesdrop on. So we need to do this. Forgive me, my attention has been elsewhere. We were following Elva, weren't we? Yeah, so was mine because I decided to end of recording them as soon as we were going to chase this guy down. Feels wrong to spot an Erranville. Helpful as we've been, but what other choice do we have? Let's get out of him already. We waited too long as it is. Okay, yeah. Is Qual still feeling unwell? Never seen her so distracted. Keep an eye on her, but keep moving too. We cannot let our quarry slip away. I agree. Full report, warts and all. Alistair is not about to let Erranville out of her sight. Erranville is headed westwards along the path outside the Archaeon. Come, we can still catch him. Archaeon, not Archaeon flower, for fuck's sake. Okay, well, you guys do that, but I'm going to go the shortcut way. Ah! It's fine, the horse is fine. We should be speedy, although as speedy as we can be, I guess. Okay, I'm going to check for apricots around this area. To the west? Yeah, that's probably in the medial in this sector here. Don't know how far we're going to go through Charlene, but through a labyrinth anyway, but we'll see. I can still hear it. We've fallen too far behind. This damn mist won't help any matters. Seems like Tala wishes to have a word with us. Yeah, this mist is not doing any good for us right now, I don't think. Hold a moment. I have an idea. If memory serves, that colossal wall-like structure is Logiston Beta, one of Labyrinthos' climate control centers. It should have its own lifts, with which one could access the upper or lower tiers. Aye, if I was an agent of the farm, it would make for a convenient meeting place. But even if we were to find Erranville in the company of said agent, we cannot expect them to reveal issues of importance as we nonchalantly stroll past. Nay, we shall have to remain undetected. Yeah, I was gonna say, if only we had a Grahag, he gets his vanish spell, doesn't he? Oh, but there are other ways of turning invisible. You can turn us into Porksies, or like little pig guys. Hippity hop, my little toads. Oh no. Oh no, you turned me into a toad! Goodness! Farmer frog. Oh, Alistair is gonna be pissed. You can't just do that without warning. Unaccustomed to transfiguration. Wait, now you'll wear off with the passage of time. I suggest you and your green companions hop along and catch up with Erranville. Should you feel the magic wading, return to me and I shall refresh the enchantment. And what am I to do in the meantime? Wait here with me. In your current state of mind, you'd be as likely to leap into the jaws of a predator as you would learn of anything of note. It's not wrong, well. Which reminds me, where are the creatures hereabouts? In that form you are essentially defenseless. Okay. You have changed into a toad! You must remain transfigured in order to progress with quest objectives. You return to if you okay, yeah, we know how this works. Oh. Hey Alfredo, how's it going, buddy? Ribbit! 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 Alfie Toad. Can't fucking do that game. Alfie Toad and Alatoad are now accompanying you. Keep them at your side in order to proceed with the quest objectives. What the fuck? This is amazing. You can leave your quest companions behind by entering a different area or by speaking to them and selecting the option to part ways. Alistair, how do you feel? Oh god. Ribbit? Ribbit, ribbit! Oh, here we go then. Ah, this is amazing! This is the best fucking quest ever! I'm so happy right now. Oh, it's like a pink circle. Okay, we need to avoid these guys. No, not doing a fate. We can't do that as fogs, guys. That's a big toad over there. I don't know if they'll be friendly or not, I don't think so. We got 28 minutes as a fog. That's quite a long time to be a fog. Oh god, there's an optional area here too. Oh shit. There's a bit of these optional areas, these little text boxes. From what I remember, they are. Hey guys, what have we got to say? Discuss your surroundings. Ribbit? Ribbit, ribbit! Alfie Toad attempts and fails to shake his head, but you nevertheless understand that he is telling you this is the wrong way. Wait, what? What do you mean this is the wrong way? Ribbit! Alfie Toad turns to face the north, like he's telling you to cross the bridge. What? That bridge up the north? Oh shit, I think we have actually gone the wrong way. But we can just go around. Yeah, we can just go around this way. It's fine. If we need to go up to that bridge, we can just go this way around. I think all will be good, as we are all fogged right now. The fog life. How could you do this to us at, Ishtola? I thought you were better than this. Oh, okay, yeah, there it is up here. So they want me to get to the bridge north, but it's fine. I think we've got more than enough time to do this anyway, so. Oh god. Why can't this be the entire fucking game? This is the best thing that's ever happened. That's the first time my cat has ever talked through an actual audio. I'm pretty sure.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work. So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Hmm? What was this?
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands.
Yeah, but I'm assuming that you're getting paid for it.
To be exploited. We are Charlian scholars and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
Yeah, I think you should tell them. Or at least give some explanation for it.
In an age long past, Charlian was charged with a momentous duty.
In an age long past?
And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Are we talking about the flood? Or are we talking about fucking Amarot? I hope it's not the latter.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
He's right.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the forum.
Oh, so they'll just be neglected like a YouTube video then. Oh, yeah, frogs. Uh-oh. It's nothing. Ignore us, it's fine. Why would he have any reason to question it?
I hope that was informative. You may
How does he
consider my
know?
debt to you repaid in full. While I do have my reservations about the forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart.
I want to believe too.
Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
The Rabbit and the Three Frogs would be a good title for this episode. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're back. I want to know how...
How How did you know it was us?
Yeah, how?
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
I mean, he's not wrong. I like this cat. I hope he comes back. We've got our fair share of good rabbit boy now. I suppose we should have known a gleaner who specialises in animal procurement would not be so easily deceived, yet he seemed inclined to put his trust in all of us the same. More importantly, perhaps, we discovered a new piece of the puzzle, this monumental duty the farm agent mentioned. Shoreline has been called to action, and this loft-hoisted declaration was the catalyst. Whatever charge it is they wish to fulfill, they deem it of sufficient import to disrupt all of Labyrinthos, not to mention ignore Aeor's request for aid. Okay. That looks worrying. Yeah, I think we should. I think we might be getting called somewhere. Alice is staring off in the direction Erenville departed, a thoughtful look in her face. What duty could warrant the direct involvement of the farm and the commitment of all its resources? Judging by what we have heard, some of the gleaners were offered any kind of explanation. At this point, it seems abundantly clear that we'll learn nothing new by pressing them further. We should head back to Ishtar and Qual for the moment, see what they can think of this. Indeed. I should have talked to Alice before I went back, before I talked to Alphino there. That was a mistake because we could have got some good fog dialogue. Oh well, southwest? This way? It's actually an area I can get to right now. Oh yeah, it is! It's not even that far ahead, it's just over here. Oh, yeah, there's like big gaps between the inner and outer sections, but look how cool it looks. Like, such an impressive looking structure that I'm excited to explore more of it at some point. But not now, obviously, because we've explored the medial circuit and now we're heading our way back. Oh, there's a plus quest over there. Very good. Okay, we need to do that too while we're here. Before we head back. Where's Qual? Yeah, where is she? It's funny how normal the forest seems now. As a toad, it was also much more ominous and threatening. Yeah, now you gotta understand how a toad will feel during all this. Welcome back. I trust you found Erenville then. Yeah, I did to some extent. Interesting. I had a feeling you would learn something important, even if it was something was simply a confirmation that no one knows much of anything. We should share this with Qual, then discuss how I'd like to proceed. Assuming we find her back at the farm, she was still behaving oddly, so I bade her return and rest there. Perhaps not the best decision in hindsight. Would you mind checking near those flowers she is entranced by? The rest of us can survey the more distant areas just in case you decide to wander. Well, I can, but before that I'm gonna go and do the plus quest, I think. So I'll see you there. Distracted archivist. Lost little troll. They decided, oh my god, we're gonna get a little baby troll, aren't we? Yes, we are. Oh dear me. You okay, buddy? My sweetest Shaggles. One of the Archean's precious samples has fled. Oh? You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? My apologies. I am Noelle here, an archivist. The Archean is home to various samples collected from all across the star, and one such specimen has just escaped. A young shoal, to be precise. Oh, I hope he hasn't been set upon by the local predators. Listen, I promised to compensate you, so could you please help me retrieve the specimen? I don't think it's a specimen for you. My thanks. I'll continue my search of the area. I'd like you to check the 33rd facet. Once you've had a comprehensive look around, please meet me at the Archean to report your findings. No. I'm not going up to the Archean right now. Oh, you motherfucker. Okay. Well, I'm going to do this first. I'm going to do the actual quest line here. And when we get sent back up, that's when I'll do it. Just to save time. Because I'm lazy. I wouldn't say I'm lazy, I'm just pragmatic when it comes to that sort of stuff. Okay, I think he was up here, but I remember a bee. Yeah, Qual. How's it going, buddy? Why are you staring at the flowers like this? Don't pick it. Don't murder it. No! What are you doing to it?
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting. She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
Who?
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Quile? No. Don't you fucking kill Claw Hidling. I'm gonna be pissed if you do. No. Okay, there we go.
Thank you.
He's talking through she's talking to Qual, I see. Oh!
Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment.
Good.
Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment.
Oh, so you're not powerful.
It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest.
The problem is, Zodiac is the opposite. His influence
After
is most
Minfilia's
here.
sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. Her, and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you.
I don't want to be ferried into the sea.
Take
I'm good.
the flower. Walk free, for you are free to go where you wish, to believe what you will.
I want to believe that you're good, Heidelin. I really do, and I think you might be. But I
That
just don't know.
bloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction.
Yeah, you got literally a flower, a talking
In
flower.
darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow.
This is good advice,
Together.
Heidelin, but like,
Raise it aloft and let it shine till the end, blinding and radiant.
this like trump card. This is what we're gonna use against the final boss to stop him. I'll just put down my bag. I promise I won't get squashed or anything. How does one put a flower away without hurting it? Hey, you good?
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away.
We really are like under her influence, aren't we? When it comes to that sort of stuff.
My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first. So weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread, imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go.
Yeah, but you know, don't do that again. Can you take
Her
your own?
answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower.
This unusual flower.
Yes, we are definitely making progress.
You can't be serious. We've done nothing wrong.
Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good at all. I think we're about to be taken to the forum. I mean, we shouldn't even be here in this plate, to be fair, so... Oh, shit! It's Daddy! Well, there, Father.
Master Fortuno, what business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Oh. It's really here, it's sort of angry.
Our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization.
They are, aren't they?
We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian.
Oh,
a group
no.
operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
That might be us, possibly.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
So,
It is not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion.
The true caretakers of wisdom is an interesting way to phrase that. I think they are like finding a way to survive the final days so that they can carry the wisdom on.
We will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
Maybe you're a disruptive foreign element, mate.
What then is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
Yeah. It's already a whole lot
The
you can do.
Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
No, Raha!
Graha! But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Yeah.
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Well, he's an Archon. He's allowed to read in there, isn't he?
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
That sounds like a plan, but, you know, this guy's a complete ass.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
How the fuck did he have two great kids like Alpha and Alice? How did that even happen? We haven't met their member yet, to be fair, and you know Louis Suarez quite awesome, so it's just like he's so strict. He might be doing it for good reasons, but he hasn't fucking told us for some reason. Maybe they know it's bad, but they're just not gonna say anything about it. Me up being teleported back here. Okay, I thought we would. Oh god, Raha! Hey, buddy. Well, so I'm quite far away right now because I'm getting something, but I'm back. Right, I'm back now. I'm sitting down.
Forgive me. I was careless.
It's not your fault. You wanted to find out information.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together.
Yeah.
I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
Yeah, did you find out anything good? Nice.
The Forum will come to order.
Barnier!
This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings.
Maybe Yongji isn't here. He'll be
Master
very useful, I
Fortuno, would you
think.
be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance.
For some reason.
Since then, Certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work.
What is your work, though?
They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
That's us! John Scion! There's 6 of us, though, so... Oh, look, Quiet has a hair down, what the fuck?
These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large. Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret.
You mean we, you know, saved the world multiple times?
Threat to be expelled.
What if you guys got attacked? Who would you call upon to help you? Is that your idea here, that you can just hide away on this island until anything bad happens?
The good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Oh no, you fuck!
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man.
Oh shit!
Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
Yep, which you all know about, by the way, so what is this then? This is gonna be mean and annoying.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front.
We were only hit by the lies.
Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Oh shit! Yeah, how are you gonna argue with that?
Revelation?
Well, we found out about it when we eavesdropped.
From the mouth of a forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Oh, we're gonna tell them! I mean, we're already here,
But
why
it
not?
seems your findings support my own.
Oh, what were your findings? What did you find out about her?
The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the forum's policy-making process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance.
Yes.
And so I noticed something odd.
After what you did rule your own nation for quite a long while.
From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted.
Oh?
No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge.
They're building an ark.
The most
Knowledge.
conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives.
So they were basically just sucking the world of all its resources and stuff and trying to get as much stuff here as
There is no question that
possible.
our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene.
Why would they do this?
But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
When was that?
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
What is it about the FFXIV? What's happening to it?
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
What's happening? Hmm? What's stopping him talking?
Yes. We are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle?
Yeah, that might help.
We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission, not through strife and bloodshed, but survival.
But,
come what may, we shall live on.
How? How are you going to survive the fucking final days? It's going to destroy the entire world.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall.
Oh shit, he's
until
told
our
her.
last breath.
Yeah. Your will.
Such misguided zeal.
You're the guy who's misguided. That's all I'm saying. Not about fighting wars, it's about saving people or making sure that everyone suffers.
Father, Master Fortuno.
I don't think there's any getting through to him, Alpha, no.
I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me.
Hell yeah.
So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
It's got you there, mate.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
That mean he'll be good then?
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand.
Well, I feel like he's the sort of person who would like be an actual betrayer for Louis War, so...
By their own admission, these Scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches.
Yeah.
But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given?
It's not wrong.
No. If we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
You're actually gonna let us use your knowledge and stuff? About the final days? Or not? Tell us, guy. Tell us about what we need to do.
Order! We will have order!
I like that they gave everyone little hoods.
Master Monteshane raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldesion are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlayan. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates.
Oh, good! Great!
Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand.
Oh, this is a democracy, but it's a shifted democracy. Oh, I think people aren't raising their hand. How do you know how many people raised their hand? You can't see. You just gotta like work from eye spot. Okay, I count.
I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed.
Quite a debate. Nice.
Students, scions, you have heard the forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences.
I guess we better listen to them then and decide to leave.
Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
Sucks that it's like this, but I don't know if there's anything else we can really do. It's a good reason for us having to stop, I guess. Well, we gave our best shot, guys. And the gods of Scholar Monteshan, I absolutely loathe arguing in circles. My father may be right, that I am still groping in the dark for answers, but I needed him to know that I will never stop searching. I owe damn much to Anvold, and myself. You may encounter some raised eyebrows, but to continue to claim the students as your sponsor whensoever the need arises, I believe in the guiding principle of the science I know my grandfather would have as well. I apologize for the troubles I've caused you. I was pondering the significance of what I have just read as I left the research section, and knocked over the security mammoth on the way out. Promise me we'll be vigilant next time. Oh lord. Oh, don't worry, Graha. It's the thought which counts. Well, at least we've been allowed to remain in the city, and our endless investigations here have not been in vain. We know not that the mysterious two-tooth theirs began with whatever the farm discovered in the ethereal sea. With our freedom so sorely curtailed, however, we still struggle to learn aught more substance here in Charlian. My only theory about what's happening in the ethereal sea, I think, has something to do with the crystals losing their power. I think maybe the ethereal sea is diminishing with Zodiac's return, so trying to find a way to counteract that possibly. I don't know though. Estate visitor, Alice had a look of dissatisfaction. Oh? What's wrong? The overall picture has grown clearer, yes, but that's inspired of forums being so madly vague about this duty of theirs. Why are they so reluctant to explain their actions in plain words? Maybe it's like a sense of doom. They don't want other people to feel paranoid about it. Survival. Come what may. Is father's work so vital that it takes precedence over his own family? Alphino! Alice, it is you! Oh? Is that their mum? When I heard you'd been dragged before the farm, I came as swiftly as I could. I'm so very glad that they allowed you to stay. Mother! Yay! He's very pretty. Makes sense, considering. Emelian's Levelou at your service. And your fun people must be the scions of the 7th Dorm. How lovely it is to finally meet you. Hey. Need to be called in front of their mother. Mother, please. We don't wish to make things difficult for you. If word reaches father that you are here... Oh, bother that. Why do we chastise for speaking with my own children? I am well aware that you and Master Fulcinal are not on the best of terms at the moment, but I've been absolutely desperate to see my darlings again. Okay, I see where Alice gets her peppiness from now. You will all come to my house, won't you? I have gifts waiting. Oh, gifts? The timing couldn't be better. Matter stands, we shan't be going anywhere until we discuss matters of Fankrid's group and reconsider our options. Go, visit your home. We'll be back at the annex when you're ready to join us. I'm not sure we... Sigbar, what do you think? Well, I might have voiced the reason here. Sigbar? The Sigbar Ivoris? What a splendid day this has turned out to be. Champion of Eorzea, I insist that you join us. Oh, okay. I'm being invited to the mum. Ah, but we must be quick about it. Not for my own benefit, but should my husband return and find you enjoying our hospitality, the servants will be made to suffer the consequences. Sigbar, if you'd be so kind as to escort my children to the estate. Oh, come on, children, I'll take you there. And then she was gone, and with her any opportunity to protest. Indeed, the matter is settled. Enjoy yourself, you three. Yay, we're gonna meet their mother. It's Alfredo and Alice's worst nightmare come to fruition. I'm not sure Alfredo thinks nothing of it. He invited classmates over all the time, but it wasn't the most. It was a difficult time for me, alright? Difficult time for me, although I think also difficult. I apologise. My mother is not one to take no for an answer. Still, I'm glad relieved even to see her in such high spirits. What say you, Zikbar? But it seems we shall have little enough time to enjoy it. Will you accompany us on our visit home? Oh my lord, are they following us? Fine, if we're going, then let's get it over with. Be sure to stay in the entrance hall. No peeking in our private chambers, thank you very much. Whatever not. Your room was always perfectly neat and tidy. Everyone has things to keep themselves, didn't they? Cherished mementos. You couldn't make yourself throw away childhood toys. Oh. I mean, never mind. The Leviolo estate is that way. Straight down the stairs. Come on. Yeah, now they're accompanying us. Yep. You know how it works. Come on, guys, let's go then. Let's do a little explore, shall we? Oh, the little explore, I mean. Oh, there are actually some exploration spots out here, I see. Optional lore, I'm fine with that. Hey, Alphino. You like bridges? It's the view from the bridge. When Alice and I were little, this bridge was as far as we were permitted to wander alone. I say alone, but my mother or a servant was always somewhere nearby, keeping a watchful eye. And now look at us, travelling to different continents, different worlds even. Yeah, we've been to quite a few places. As children, Alphino and I would often wait here for our mother to come home from work. Must have been a day when those meetings ran long, because I remember growing restless and leaning out over the railings to watch the water rushing by. Father, of course, arrived at that exact moment, came pounding down the path in a panic, crying out my name. Amazing. Yeah, I'll do this quest in the estate, and when it connects to the other path, I think I'll do the plus quest in Labyrinthos. Oh yes, this is where I first put this magical and actual person. Alice had fallen, you see, and scraped her knee quite bad, so I tried casting a simple assaultive spell I'd only just learned. How she smiled and the wound closed. The joy and relief. That was, I believe, the very moment I chose the healing arts as my main subject. That's adorable, Alphino. Aww. We used to come here all the time with grandfather, and somehow I would dip my hands and feet in the fountain and splash about. Not Alphino, though. Even back then, he wasn't very fond of playing in water. He'd make any excuse to avoid it. Which would explain how I came to swim like an orc and he sat sitting like a stone. These two siblings, I love them. I don't want anything bad to happen to either of them, and it better not. Hey, millions. And here you are at last. Please do come in. Voice acting. Oh my god, everyone's here.
Welcome home, my lady.
And the children. Wow. What a mansion. I definitely didn't sneak in here before. Wear my chocobo mask. Again.
What? What are you gawping at?
I mean, not everyone lives in a massive mansion, Alice. House de Value in all its grandeur. Sight and haircloth must be squalid indeed. Yeah, there we go. I like that one.
I'll have you know I'm quite fond of the Rising Stones.
I am too.
Lord Fortuneau is not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
Oh, it's got little gifts for them. Is it new glamours, I wonder?
Master Alphino, Mistress Alice, if you would accompany me upstairs.
We shan't be long.
Oh, I'm going to talk to their mother then, I guess. No, don't leave me alone with your mother, Alphino, for fuck's sake. Hi, Aemilians, how's it going? Alphinaud is very cool.
The twins
He
have
stopped
been
the
sending
entire
letters
war.
home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures. I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying.
Adventures? They're like liberated nations. They should be like getting praised. You know, pat on the back all the time.
Yet a mother worries all the same. In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such donations. Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid.
It's almost like they're getting more character.
The triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. It is clear that they have come to find value in every experience. But of those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name.
That's adorable.
It is plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them.
Yeah, well, I'm never going to let anything happen to those two adorable
Under normal
kids.
circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
Let me tell you about the time where I saved a soul tree from corruption. And I went into a giant tower where there was a mass boss. There was also this weird section where these leather androids were wearing blindfolds, and it was strange. Oh shit, they do have new
When
clavers!
you mentioned gifts, I wasn't sure what to expect. Mother,
Wow!
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
Oh my lord, oh no, oh
it's
my lord.
perfect. Exactly what I would have chosen. But please, tell me you had something different made for Alphinaud.
We know Alice likes the colour red, so hopefully Alphinaud is still blue.
Naturally. You are hardly little children anymore. And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become. See for yourself.
Remember when you two first came to Aeolus and you looked identical? Oh shit, it's Sage Alphinaud now.
Thank you for the splendid clothes, Mother. Stylish, comfortable, and eminently practical.
Look at that cape.
I am so glad you like them. They are, however, missing one final touch.
Sage? Sage, yeah, I'm assuming?
If you would allow me, Master Alphinaud.
We know he was an Astrologian before, but I'm pretty sure in Endwalker he's a Sage. Yeah, there it is.
Wait. Are these...
Sage gear!
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father.
Oh shit! Did you tell him about
Though
this?
he may as well be chained to his desk these days. As a student, he was often called upon to venture into the field. He wielded those armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles.
Look at our colour schemes!
None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless.
No, we got green, we got blue, and we got red.
Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now. And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry.
That's really cool. I'm glad he got his own weapon and his own style. He's now a Sage, which is a class I actually do want to play at some point. It looks quite cool.
I am told these devices are quite difficult to master. but someone of your extensive
It's just they're
experience
worded
should
weirdly.
see
They're not
them
difficult to
darting about
master. It's
with
just
grace and aplomb.
the words that they use for each skill is very difficult.
May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
We'll try, depending on if he's evil or not, but I don't think he is. I don't think it's possible for anyone else in his family to be evil.
We will, Mother. I promise.
Maybe just
My final
strict.
gifts to you, before you run off, are an observation and a suggestion. Firstly, Fortuno has ever been a serious man, but it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work.
Aww.
I may not know the Forum's inner workings, but I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance.
Yeah?
Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words. Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
What? They've got enough merits. Like, they've got more merits than anyone would ever need in, like, 5 lifetimes. Well, every day you can say that you helped liberate 2 nations.
Oh, Mother.
Oh, Mother.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
And don't fucking die, because I will be distraught if that happens. I love these 2 characters. I don't want anything bad to happen. I love all the Scions, to be honest. But like I said, I'm loving that the fact that they're doing development for these 2 in Endwalker. I'm just here like, hi. How's it going? Oh, I'm not even now too. Look at all of us! We're like Power Rangers! That's awesome. I'm glad they finally got their own styles and stuff. And that was that. Only the gods knows when we'll be back again. Thank you for indulging Mother's request. I can see it meant a lot to her, and I'll shall refrain from inquiring as to the content of your private conversation. Our visit was all too brief. For now, however, it will have to suffice, as will these tokens of home that we carry with us. These gifts to help us remember who we are and whence we came. But enough sentimentality. Let us return to the annex and join our companions. You do look awesome, you two. And if you didn't know how costumes work, people always joke about costume changes because it's not only changing the glamours they're wearing, it's also increasing the fidelity of their models. So their faces also look a lot better now. It's why they changed the designs quite a bit to make them look better in cutscenes and stuff. But like I said, I shouldn't be doing this because I need to go back to Labyrinthos to complete that plus quest. Let's do that now, shall we? Right, now we're here. The errant chore is nowhere to be seen. No Wellied here. May I bear luck? Why not, Archion? Oh, well, I wanted to go back, but this enemy's like, no, you can't! I'm gonna waste your time here! Yeah! Yes, attack me! I enjoy, like, you know, a fuck off AoE. There we go. Right, now we're gonna go back to Archion and talk to him here, but I don't think this is the end of this plus quest. Usually isn't. Only 1 plus quest for Labyrinthos though. I assume all the other ones will be when we get back here, I guess. In travel. Yeah, I guess they will be back when we get back. I see. I was unable to find the specimen either. However, I did meet someone who claimed to have seen it in Moonvale Forest. Let us head there and see if we can track it down. Okay. There's a relatively long plus quest, but I'm fine with that. I mean, the side content is entertaining, and they've gone a lot better at it since Realm Reborn, or even Heavensward. In Heavensward, they weren't that interesting. but they got a lot better in Stormlord Shadowbringers and this. I mean, this has just been a delight so far. Endwalker has. I don't think I've felt bored at all. Yes, there could be no doubt. These are Shaggle's footprints. Ahem. I have uncovered the specimen's trail. It should be close. If you find it under threat from the local fauna, you may dispatch its assailants. I'm sure I'll be fine. Maybe not, there's a massive troll here in a way. Hey. This doesn't look good, does it? Oh no! Poor Shaggles has been set up upon by trolls! Trolls! Quick to the rescue! Yeah, let's get in here, let's do this! Yeah! Bah! 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 Wait, that wasn't free? Oh no, it wasn't free apparently. Oh, they go away over time! Oh, well, fuck. It needed to be at 60 for that to work. I'm okay. I'm okay. Fucking hell, I nearly wasn't there though. Look how small he is. I'm here to help, buddy. I hope I didn't just kill your parents. Hey, buddy. Ah, I'm so glad you're unharmed. You're safe now. Come on, let's go home, sweetie. What? The Archean is under threat. I must do something. Grr. You can talk. What is this threat? You can. Yeah. Wait. What? Is it the Echo? Is that how I'm talking to you right now? I mean, it's not a plus quest. Grr. You can understand me? Yes. Wait, are you able to communicate with it? Yes. I have the power of the Echo. Incredible. I never met someone with such a skill before. It's a research opportunity for you, I see. This Bundledge boy was born in Labyrinthos. However, he was abandoned by his mother in quite a state by the time we found him. He possesses remarkable intelligence of one of his kind. We've elected to use him as part of the study into the effects of growing up in an artificial environment. I've had seen him making gestures that indicated he'd been reading the tomes here, but I thought he was just copying those around him. To think he could actually understand speech. Well, I do wonder exactly why you're able to understand him. I am not. And I am not. It's sort of a secret. Yeah, I'm sort of special. It's a secret. It's a secret to everyone. Including me, apparently. Really? No, well, I wouldn't give to understand him too. You possess the Echo, don't you? I find it difficult to go the way you try and do, but I suppose it makes sense that you understand my general sentiments. I happen to learn of said power from the tomes in the Archean. However, that buffoon over there is surrounded by a sea of knowledge and he makes no effort to engage with it. Ugh. He just called you a doofus, basically. A goober. At any rate, I'm glad to finally have someone to talk to. As I was saying earlier, the Archean is under grave danger. Some querulous gleaner managed to bring Woodsworm in with them during a visit. If we leave them be, they're bound to cause irreparable damage to the materials at the facility. I tried my best to tell that buffoon, but it was no use. That's why I took a chance of waiting to search for some of my own kind to see if they would help, but you saw how that turned out. Well, what is he saying? He's saying that there's worms, bad worms. Oh dear me. Still, that was most courageous of him to try and solve the issue on his own. Now that we're aware, we need to sort out this pest problem at once. Would you mind helping out longer? If it's not a plus quest. If it's not a plus quest, I can't help you. I can't help you. Oh my god, look at their new gear. Oh wait, no. Don't think for a moment that I'm jealous of Alphino's new weapons. They're far more suited to him than me. We left for Eorzea in matching outfits, but our style, both fashion and fighting, have long since diverged. If anything, I'm proud of the differences between them. I mean, you're a white mage and he's a sage, so they're very, no, red mage. I mean, they're very different classes. If I intend to master these sages' armaments, that will mean learn to imbue them with the same aim that I have poured into Moonstone and Obsidian. It is difficult to grasp the essence of such an entity. For me, it will help to think of the Northless as allies in battle, simply a new form of the energy which went into manifesting my carbuncle companions. I'm gonna miss our carbuncles. For us to feel responsible for the schism of House de Vivien would be pure hubris. After all, we are merely on the outskirts of what is, essentially, a family affair. And yes, neither can we claim the indifference of strangers. To hear their mother welcome them so warmly was a joy and a relief. As curious as I am to learn the truth of this duty, I wonder what else the Forum is hiding. A calamitous secret whose origin lies in the ethereal sea. Duplicity aside, however, I do not believe Master Fortunat's means us ill. Even the harsh words he had for his children stemmed not from anger, I think, but desperation. Yeah, I agree. Right, Qual, we're done. Enjoy the time of the Living Blues, I hope. I would ask how the twins fared, but their new outfit tells the tale. I can only hope we can help them to reconcile with their father, that they might return home one day with their heads held high. In the meantime, we edge ever closer to the secret the Forum strives to hide, and the flower bequeathed to you by Hylian is sure to guide us going forward. I am confident that once you've heard your report from Favner, we'll be well equipped to plot our next move. Indeed. Well, with that in mind, in the dark of the tower, I think that's going to be our first dungeon. So, I hope you enjoyed the Favner and Labyrinthos paths. Finally, we're back on the main course. We found out some interesting stuff in Charlayan, and we also discovered the wonderful little island of Favner and Vadzahan. I'll be back for the next part of this soon. Goodbye.